Okay, hello friends. Today we will be discussing another bacteria, small bacteria. We won't take your more time. Okay, we'll be making a small video for you. Hey, I know you are so much bored with this microbiology. Now I want to make your life easy, guys. The life easy is that once you see three bacteria which will be reading, we have Leptospira, we have we have learned about Treponema, and we have learned about we'll be learning about in the next topic, the Borrelia. Now, I want you to remember that Leptospira, you should always remember hooks. Leptospira has hooks. This is Leptospira will be having hooked structures. Okay. If you remember from the previous discussion, we were having uh, Treponema as this spiralum arrangement, isn't it? Isn't it? It was a spiralum arrangement, guys, isn't it? Yeah. But in Leptospira, you will be appreciating what hooked structures. Now, whether the hooks are facing each other or hooks are opposite. If the hooks are facing each other, what will be the name? If the hooks are in opposite direction. Okay. Borrelia, which we will be reading in the next topic, will be fatty guy. What? This fatty spiral guy. Borrelia means big. B for big, B for Borrelia. So big Borrelia, fatty guy, but spiralum. Leptospira, can you appreciate spiralum but hooked structure? Okay, so this Treponema was spiralum. Fine. Now Leptospira is known as Leptospira. We call it what? Wheels bacteria. What? Wheels bacteria. Okay, they are fastidious. What does fastidious mean? Fastidious mean they need a special media to grow. They need a special media to grow. If you check their motility, they exhibit they exhibit axial rotation. They exhibit axial rotation like this. Okay, axial rotation. Now these leptospira are having two variants. Okay, I classify them under these two. Leptospira has two. Okay, classification. One is pathogenic leptospira, non-pathogenic leptospira. Non-pathogenic leptospira. Okay, pathogenic leptospira, it will be having various serovars. Serovars, no serotypes. Okay, it will be having various serovars which will be under various serogroups. Which will be under various serogroups. How many serogroups? I think 26. And serovars 300 to 350. Are we able to understand? So they will be having 26. There are 26 serogroups and 350 more, up to 350 serovars. Fine. Now pathogenic, if you will tell me which is the pathogenic leptospira. We have Leptospira interrogans. Leptospira interrogans. Leptospira interrogans. Non-pathogenic Leptospira biflexa. Leptospira biflexa. Okay, so we have pathogenic interrogans. I hope you remember this interrogans. You can remember this. Okay, Leptospira interrogans and Leptospira biflexa. If I see Leptospira interrogans, Leptospira interrogans is showing me an appearance. Please take a red color. Please take a red color. It shows me an appearance. We call that question mark. It appears to me like a question mark. See how question mark, like this. Clear? So it's having a question mark appearance. Leptospira interrogans. Okay. I won't make a question mark like that, dot and everything. Okay. Don't think everything has a symmetry. Okay. It just you have to visualize. But if I talk about Leptospira biflexa, Leptospira biflexa means I have to flex at bi. So I make bi. That means like this. This is Leptospira biflexa. That means the hooks. See here, the hooks were like this. Hooks were like this. But in this case, the hooks are facing to each other. This is A, this is B. They are facing each other. So the hooks are facing each other. Then it should be Leptospira biflexa. Leptospira biflexa. This should be Leptospira interrogans. Leptospira interrogans. Are we clear, guys? So how does this spread? How does this Leptospira spread? Actually, what happens there is any sort of an indirect contact with water, with any sort of wet surfaces, and moistness. Okay, and if that region gets contaminated with animal urine, okay, if that thing gets contaminated with animal urine or any sort of parturition products, for example, the animal gave birth to someone and the products which are coming out, they contaminated a water surface. Okay, parturition products. Or we have, placenta of infected animals, placenta of infected animals. Okay, so in that way, this will go into some water contamination, and from there it will come in direct contact. It will then spread to you. Now, is it human to human transmission? No, no human to human transmission. Okay, no human to human transmission. Fine. Now, how to remember the way it spreads? Okay, who is playing the role? What are the units of transmission? Who are spreading it? Now, mostly, what happens is the reservoir can be any mammalian animal. It can be any mammal. It can be dog. It can be cattle. It can be pig. It can be rat. Okay, so what happens if I take an example of rat? What happens? This rat, he urinates. Okay, this has leptospira. This has leptospira. This leptospira will go into water source. This will go into water source, that is contamination, and then it will directly penetrate the skin of the human being. Directly penetrate skin of human being. Okay, fine. So we remember, not I actually, we remember, whoever learns micro, we remember it has 3 R's. Important. 3 R's. Okay, so it will happen in what time? It will be rain, rain. No, I was about to write rain, rainfall. Okay, I want to write rat. Okay, so rain, rat, and rice fields. Rain, rat, and rice fields. So mostly happens in that monsoon season, that rainy season. Okay, I hope you are understanding. It does not need any clarification. No? Okay, very nice. So you have understood this. Now, if I take, scroll this, my pen has hit the lamp. Okay, it's working now. Now, what are the species you can see in Leptospira? What species can you see in Leptospira? Okay, so what species are present there? We have L cap. See, remember L cap, L cap. Okay, L cap. These are the species of Leptospira. So the species of Leptospira, L cap. What are the L cap? Let me take a nice color. L cap is, this is L Andamana. Let me write here. This is how I remember. L. Andamana. L. Canicola. And L. Pomana. L. Andamana. L. Canicola and L. Pomana. Okay. Now what does it do? It causes it causes a problem, that is the vascular diseases. It causes vascular damage. If you want to understand what is the Weil's disease, the Weil's disease is the manifestation. I will let you know. Let me tell you. See, first I want to tell you, leptospirosis is basically a collection of two phases. Okay, this disease, this leptospirosis, it causes leptospirosis. Let me tell you like this. It causes leptospirosis. This leptospirosis is basically a two-phasic disease, a biphasic one. It's a biphasic disease. That means it is having two phases. The two phases are ecteric phase and non-ecteric phase. Ecteric phase, non-ecteric phase. And if these two are present both, if these two together are present in that patient, then you will say it is having what? Hepatorenal syndrome. If both the things are present, we call it hepatorenal syndrome. Then it becomes the third. But basically these are biphasic, ecteric and non-ecteric. What is ecteric? Ecteric phase means it is going to affect the liver. Ecteric means liver involvement. Liver involvement. So what it will cause? It will cause hepatitis. It will cause hepatitis. It will cause jaundice. It will cause jaundice. Okay. You will have raised liver enzymes in the test. Raised liver enzymes. Okay. What is non-ecteric? Non-ecteric means it affects kidney. It affects brain. If kidney is involved, it will cause acute renal failure. If brain is involved, it causes aseptic meningitis. Fine. This is how you have to write. The art of making notes that we are also teaching you. Okay. So hepatorenal syndrome. Hepatorenal syndrome will happen if the patient has both ecteric and non-ecteric phases. If the patient has both ecteric and non-ecteric phases. Okay. So how will be, if they ask you now, I want to ask you a question. If they ask you what is the characteristic of Weil's disease or Weil's disease, whatever you call it. Okay. So what are the characteristics of Weil's disease? Like this, you will say it's a condition characterized by high-grade fever, jaundice, raised liver enzymes, pulmonary hemorrhages. So which hemorrhage is common in leptospirosis? Pulmonary hemorrhage. Okay, pulmonary hemorrhage. What else? Creatinine levels get high because kidney failure. Creatinine high, and serum urea, that is BUN, blood urea nitrogen. This will also increase. Okay. Is it okay? Fine. So you can have other hemorrhages also. You can have petechiae, you can have purpura, you can have conjunctival hemorrhages, you can have GI hemorrhages. Okay. So these are the most common what I wrote. Most common is important. Okay. Now, how will you diagnose it? So lab diagnosis. How will you diagnose it? Lab diagnosis. Okay. Lab diagnosis is what specimen will you take? You will take blood. Okay. You will take CSF if it is aseptic meningitis. You will take urine specimen if it is acute renal failure. Okay. These are the things you can take. Which microscopy will you go for? Same dark field microscopy, DFM. Okay. Which culture? Which culture to give? EMJH agar. What is EMJH agar? Ellinghausen, McCullough, Johnson, Harris agar. So Ellinghausen, McCullough, Johnson, Harris agar. This is the culture media for Leptospira. Others can also be there, Fletcher, Medium, Korthoff. Okay. Then where do we go? I go for serology. Serology, what do I see? What is the best gold standard? What is the best test for serology? Which is a golden test? Right, red color. Take a red color, guys. It is MSAT. What is MSAT? Microscopic slide agglutination test. Okay. And how to treat the condition? Doxycycline or penicillin. Is it clear? Is it clear, friends? So if they ask you, they say, what is rat fever? Leptospirosis. What is mud fever? Leptospirosis. What is pretibial fever? Leptospirosis. What is paddy fever? Leptospirosis. What is rain fever? Leptospirosis. What else they can ask you? Swamp fever? Leptospirosis. 7-day fever? Leptospirosis. So these are all the alternate names by which they will confuse you. Okay. So you can write them rewinding. Okay. I don't need to make it more boring. Okay. So you can rewind it on the video. Okay. You can write it. So rat fever, paddy fever, rain fever, swamp fever, swamp. Okay. Swamp fever. Okay. Can go 7-day fever, pretibial fever. These are all the alternate names of leptospirosis. Okay. So I hope you have understood this topic. Okay, this was a small topic, but this is, I think, more important if you learn this much. Okay, so if they ask you what is treatment for mild leptospirosis, say oral doxycycline. If they tell you in severe cases what you will give, penicillin. Penicillin will be the drug of choice. Okay, and there was some time back a diagnostic criteria given by WHO, that was Fain's diagnostic criteria. Okay, it was a criteria for the diagnosis of leptospirosis. So this just giving you some insights of something. Okay. So what by the way, what does MSAT do? MSAT will detect the antibodies against the L-enterogram serovars. It will detect the antibodies against the specific serovars. Okay. So that's why it's a gold standard for diagnosing leptospirosis. Fine. Clear? So what do we, by the way, see in the dark field microscopy? We will be seeing what? We will be seeing umbrella handle like this, isn't it? I hope you can understand. No, hooks sort of a thing. Okay, those hooks and everything. Okay. Is there any doubt in this? So you have to remember what you have to remember about leptospira. Contamination, 3 R's, rain, rodent, and rainfall, isn't it? Weil's disease, high-grade fever, jaundice, increased liver enzyme, pulmonary hemorrhage most common, kidney will be affected, so creatinine high, your serum urine burn high. Okay. What else? Dark field microscopy, CSF, urine, no, dark field microscopy, EMJ agar, Ellinghausen, Macaulay, Johnson, Harrison agar, and you can also go for Korthoff, Fletcher, semi-solid agar, and what else? Yeah, Fain's diagnostic criteria, which was about the WHO guideline given for the diagnosis of leptospirosis. And if there is a mild variety, then oral doxycycline. If there is severe variety, then penicillin. Finished. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this short session on leptospirosis.